On the red, so the red's different.
All right, here we go. Yo, I love this website. It's the best. This website is awesome, and we're definitely going to use it again next year. For sure. For sure. Hello and welcome to the Always Sunday Football Podcast. My name is Dave. I am joined as I am every week by Danny. How you doing, Danny?
What up?
John, how do you do?
I be doing.
Anthony, how's it going?
I usually be doing, but somebody be doing first. Hard.
It really just depends. Right? It just depends on what I'm feeling.
Yeah.
It's like I go around the room, and it depends on which direction I go around the room, and I like to keep everybody guessing. So
hey, you do a good job. You keep the flow moving.
Yeah, I wish the website would keep up with me, and we'd really be talking. We'd really be talking. So we're going to discuss. Speaking of talking, we're going to discuss what there is to discuss in the NFL. We're going to talk about it from a fantasy perspective. We're going to talk about things as it pertains to the Always Sunday Football League and as it pertains to the Laces Out Dynasty League, but most importantly, how things are playing out in the National Football League. John, we got OTAs going on. They started. There's been a couple of different, I think, OTAs, a couple of different organized team activities per franchise. We got a lot of videos of a guy running a route against air, and then like a zillion tweets saying whether this guy's going to dominate or whether he looks slow or fast or whatever. But we thankfully have John to move all that bullshit aside to kind of like clear through that stuff and find the gems among the junk, right? So we're going to go to Johnny for his OTA news. John,
All right. So, number one, everything in OTAs, please take with a grain of salt. I really want to focus on guys that were drafted in the last time we spoke. So let's talk about the news that has been popping for OTAs, and that is the New England Patriots. Mike Vrabel, Josh McDaniels, a lot of Drake May. I mean, I would say the most news we probably got is out of the OTAs of the Patriots. But in particular, I want to talk about third rounder, Mr. Kyle Williams for the Patriots.
I thought he was going to go with Stephon Diggs. Isn't Diggs a Patriot too?
Correct.
As of now,
he just showed up to camp.
Okay. So we'll get to that. Yeah. Sorry. Go ahead, Kyle Williams.
So he just showed up to camp. I want to talk about more a guy like we know what Stephon Diggs is. So I think it would be a disservice to mention him because he's not going to he's just recovering from there. But I did want to talk about this third rounder, Kyle Williams. All right. Now, a lot of people were projecting this guy to be maybe take over the slot corner. But I want to talk about this guy. He made the play of the day in day 2 of OTAs. He was actually the outside receiver, beat the corner, was able to stack to the receiver and make a really nice catch as an outside receiver. Really, the most important thing I wanted to know about this is can this guy be the other X receiver? We kind of are in a question mark about Jalen Polk. He's coming back from injury. We know Javon Baker's kind of on the chopping block. Demario Douglas is all right. So we got to figure out who's the next guy that's going to be there. I think this kid, Kyle Williams, is really showing out. Obviously, we want to see this in pads, but he's a guy that I am definitely looking at. Definitely wasn't on my draft board for a while, and rightfully so. But this guy is making buzz, so I like it.
And the guy's making buzz.
Yeah, what happened to Dave? And
I think he probably just hit the back button again. He did that before, right before you got in.
Gotcha. So what are you thinking about this? So while we're just continuing talking about this, what do you think about this kid, Kyle Williams? I mean, it's the most we're getting right now. So what are your thoughts on that?
Yes.
Welcome back.
I agree.
Yeah. Well said, John.
Couldn't agree more.
Well said, John. Congratulations. I don't know what's going on. My internet suddenly is just ridiculous back here, and we have we put a booster in, a Wi-Fi booster.
Boosting.
Ooh, a booster. I feel like those are just lies, though.
Clearly, it's a lie. That's never
ran into that one.
Yeah, that's never happened. in the history of the show, and we've been doing this a while. So sorry.
No, usually when it comes to internet, you're on par.
Chris.
Yeah, well, it's been very subpar lately.
Yeah.
I got kicked out of a Spirit for Spirits meeting at one point,
Jeez.
which was very bad.
Not physically.
Right. So that was a giant mess. And now this. So we got to figure something
Yeah,
out.
Kyle Williams is good.
So yeah, was that all Kyle Williams talk there still?
For the most part, he was, touching base and asking what your thoughts are on Kyle Williams.
All right.
I mean,
You go ahead.
I like them. I think it's a good pick, especially if Diggs is gone. I mean, who knows? He might not play for him.
Well, there's an update with that. The Patriots signaled that there's been a couple of reports that they plan on keeping him. He was there in OTAs, which is good to see that he was there, active. He was communicating with the coaching staff about, like there was actually a clip of him and Vrabel talking about like the Kyle Williams catch and things of that sort. So that there's just been a couple of insiders about that. We've been, I don't want to mention about guys that might not be fantasy relevant, like your Javon Bakers of the world. Obviously, Jalen Polk is not there. And a lot of these guys are pretty much undrafted guys. So that would be my take on the Patriots. If you want to get, I guess, a gem out of there's like so many articles about the Patriots. So I wanted to nail down this kid, Kyle Williams, and give him the love that he deserves.
Right. And I think it's one of those things. It's like you said, the room is light. The door could be open for him. It's anybody's, anybody can come in. He could come out and be the number one receiver.
Absolutely.
So he has potential, but we'll see. This Diggs thing is going to be a little interesting and
For sure.
For sure.
So
All right.
Raise your hand if you think Diggs will not be on the opening day roster for the Patriots.
He will be on the roster.
I'm not gonna raise it, but it's within the range of outcomes.
Well, of course.
Oh no, for sure. I would, for me to give you
It's
100%
like,
answer
especially-
right now, I would need to see like contract situation. You know what I mean? Like how much are they going to lose if they let him go? Right, signing
Or
bonus.
Vrabel's just gonna kick the shit out of him when he shows up. Lock him in a room and beat the life.
But I mean,
out of him.
I think we actually spoke
done it,
about
dude.
this, that his
It's hard to see.
contract was like pretty good for him getting it, but like I think we all agreed that they overspent on him. So it should
that
be
kind of
interesting to
stuff's
see.
might be worth putting up for prime Diggs, but we were talking about this. He's coming off of a big time injury. He's a speed guy, wrong side of 30.
Mhm.
It might not be worth it to put up with the circus if what I mean. If he's not,
Right. Yeah, it doesn't seem like something Vrabel would want to put up with, especially in his first
or
year
he
with the
could get
organization.
suspended.
Also
Well,
possible. But
yeah.
yeah, we've seen the way suspensions work where he could get suspended, but it's not going to be until 2027.
True, but there
Yeah,
might not be
we're
a
gonna
league.
we're gonna push this back a little bit.
Yeah, we got to wait for the legal.
But this is
legal
no
suspension,
criminal charge. Jay can just suspend him for the video.
which I think is more likely.
Yeah.
For sure. John,
Right.
what else you got?
Suspend him, push him. That's ridiculous.
What else you got?
Yeah, I got one more, I guess, a good news thing. And this is another guy that if you're invested anything in the Tennessee Titans, you probably want to know how Cam Ward is looking.
I'm listening.
Well, the OTA reports are looking like he's poised. He looks like he's in command of the offense. He looks like he's grasping whatever they're throwing at him in terms of the playbook. And he's definitely developing a chemistry with Calvin Ridley. So I think that this is a good thing that it looks like he's able to. The issue is that people thought that he was raw. Maybe he needed to sit. So right now, with what the small sample size that we have, and tomorrow would be another indicator of maybe some more information coming out. But I would say another good news, feel good. If you're wondering about the Tennessee Titans, it looks like Cam Ward is developing along. We'll see how things go when the pads get on and when he's actually getting pressure. But looks like he's commanding the offense and doing well with that.
So it's looking good, but it's OTAs.
You got
Grain
any?
of salt. My disclaimer was take everything I say with a grain of salt. OTAs.
Absolutely, but I'm going to take a lot of salt. Calvin Ridley. I mean, I'll take it for now, right? But yeah,
I mean, yeah, not there. It's just they're literally just like practicing and throwing.
Right,
the ball.
it's
Like
practice.
they're playing. There's not much from that. I mean, the big news, obviously, the Diggs thing.
Mhm.
But outside of that,
Nothing notable. For
what's
you.
his name? Retired. The Lions.
Act now.
That
We'll
is
get to that. We'll get to that.
29
We'll get to that, Danny. We'll get to that,
Okay.
Danny. Hold
Sorry,
up.
shut up.
Hold up.
Sorry.
Hold up.
Sorry, I have
Don't
nothing.
get ahead of
Hold
yourself.
hold it. Pump the
John,
brakes.
what else you got, John?
Okay. We're gonna get into the Lions thing, but I wanted to first focus on one thing, and this is a glaring thing. We knew this coming in, but this whole Anthony Richardson and Daniel Jones splitting reps in OTAs. What is going on? I mean,
Tell us, John. Talk about it.
like Shane Steichen stated that he has plans to have basically the same number of reps. So far in OTAs, it sounds like Jones is the more efficient quarterback, but Richardson obviously has a little bit more of the splash plays, things of that sort. We already knew that. We kind of already knew that going in, but Shane Steichen keeps talking about, well, the most consistent quarterback is going to win. Well, guess what?
that's going to be Daniel Jones, but that's not.
You invested a pretty high draft pick in this kid, Anthony Richardson. The kid does not have a lot of reps under him in college. The kid needs to play. You got to figure out what you're doing with this kid. He needs as many reps as possible. And Shane Steichen is not doing this kid any justice. Like, if he doesn't pan out this year, understandable. You have Daniel Jones. But you got to give this kid as much opportunities as possible, because if you don't, it's a blemish on your head coaching record and your way of developing quarterbacks. So, sorry, I just had to be the bearer of bad news with OTAs. It's just going to continue getting uglier and uglier with this situation. Want no part of this offense outside of Jonathan Taylor. End of story.
Yeah, I agree. I agree with that. And I think that the problem, or I think a problem with this whole thing, is that Shane Steichen is caught between 6s and 7s. He's coaching for his job and not coaching for the franchise. Like, what he's trying to do, as John was alluding to, talking about how Daniel Jones is the more consistent quarterback. Of course, the problem is that Anthony Richardson is not consistent. The problem is that he needs a lot of seasoning. He needs a lot of help in developing. Daniel Jones is going to win you more games now, but winning you games right now isn't helping.
The upside, it
isn't going to help you if you go like.
Do you want 11 or 5 wins or 8 or 7?
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, they're just a higher floor, higher ceiling, but a lower floor. But Richardson gives you a little more upside.
Right. Shane Steichen. If Shane Steichen was not on the hot seat, Anthony Richardson would be the easy choice. They wouldn't even have a quarterback competition. But because he's on the hot seat and he needs to try and save his job, he needs to win games, and he needs to start Daniel Jones in order to win games. So the worst thing that could have happened is that he didn't get fired. No offense to Shane Steichen, because I liked him. I thought he was going to be a good head coach. But the problem here is not Anthony Richardson, and it's not Daniel Jones. It's Shane Steichen being on the hot seat. That's the real problem.
Yeah.
That's
it's more just a product of where they're at.
Yeah.
Although part of it is Anthony. He hasn't been good for a couple years.
Anthony Richardson's bad, but he also didn't develop Anthony Richardson at all, and that, I think, is the most damning part of it.
Well, let's see if he goes somewhere else and sucks there. Maybe he's just bad.
He also hurt himself by.
I've seen him try to throw downfield. He might just not be very good.
But what pick was he again? Was he the 5th overall? 4?
He was 4.
Watch
4 or 5.
Watch Danny Jones end up being the quarterback. They win 11 games, and then we're just like, oh, Anthony Richardson was just fucking awful.
Right, but that's the thing. Like, if they win 11 games, it won't be because of Daniel Jones necessarily. It'll be because Shane Steichen did a good job, and that's the whole problem.
And
you almost don't want to win 11 games if you're because you're not going to win a Super Bowl with that team. Like Daniel Jones.
Not with that quarterback. I mean, they have a good roster, but
Daniel
not with that
Jones is not going to win you.
And the defense was awful last year.
So to me, that would be worse outcome than it would be to just start Anthony Richardson the whole way, let him take his lumps, find out.
Unless he's just that bad where you have to pull him. Yeah.
Right, but you let him play himself out of the league. Then you probably know Anthony Richardson's no good, and you can kind of cut ties with Anthony Richardson. You can also cut ties with the head coach if you're the owner, if you want to, and just have a fresh start, and the GM, whatever, fresh start. That's your best.
Yeah, that's going to be an easy out.
Flush the toilet. Yeah. But the way they're doing it, to me, it's clearly 100%. Because Steichen's trying to save his job. He's trying to be a good head coach.
All right, so we're gonna now forward to Danny. Couldn't contain himself. But yes, center Frank Ragnow retiring is another blow to the Detroit Lions offense. I mean, they lost Ben Johnson as their offensive coordinator, huge loss. They lost their passing coordinator and tight end coach, accepting the OC job as the Jets. And now your center is retiring. So, I mean,
All pro 29-year-old.
And they're expecting right now, as the team is currently constructed, that a second round guard, Tate Radlid out of Georgia, which he was a very good guard in Georgia, is asked as a rookie to play out of position. So right now they're projecting that maybe he take over as the center. And so that offense might be, you might have a lot of false starts, a lot of maybe holding penalties, especially for a rookie that's playing at a position. So I just can't help to think, like, how can the Lions make up for all these losses? I mean, that it's not too much of an OTA story, but rather, like, how is this team going to look?
Dump it off to Gibbs.
I mean, that's a big loss.
St. Brown Gibbs.
Yeah, I mean, it's a big loss, but the thing is, like, no, we really don't know. Maybe it's just a signal. Maybe it, like, sort of, obviously it's terrible for the Lions. It's terrible for the Lions offense. It's terrible for fantasy football, but it's good in terms of us, like, maybe hopefully finally waking up to say that we really don't know what the Lions is going to be this year. Like, we don't know. Now that Ben Johnson is gone, we have no idea what they say. Oh, we're going to keep doing the same thing, but we've seen teams try to do that, and it doesn't always work. Like, the Ben Johnson matters. What they're saying is essentially is Ben Johnson didn't matter, and we're just gonna be able to do the same thing we did. Ben Johnson didn't matter. It's us, not him. So to me, at least maybe now people will wake up and say, okay, maybe the Lions might be pretty different this year. They might be. We have to look at them a little differently.
What are they supposed to say? You know what I mean? Like, of course they're going to say we're going to try, to do the same thing.
They could have brought a guy in who says, you know what, we're going to use a lot of his philosophies, but I feel good about my offense or whatever. Like, they could have brought somebody in who had a plan. Instead, they're just going to try and replicate. But again, I don't think that. I think there's two ways you could go about it, but essentially, to me, it's just like, I think everybody has been assuming that the Lions are just going to keep doing the same. Right. Play calling matters. Like, the dude calling plays matters. Maybe the guy, John Morton, I think is his name. He's not as good of a play caller. Maybe he doesn't know what to call at the right time. Maybe he doesn't do all that. Maybe Ben Johnson mattered a little bit. And so we'll see. But the other sort of alarming part of this is that he makes now the third in our lifetime, the third in yours and mine especially, prime of their career, so young, so full of life and so full of continued potential, to just retire.
Not a 29-year-old running back.
In the Detroit Lions, on the Detroit Lions, you had
coming off a Pro Bowl, all pro, like, you know what I mean? He was
top of his game.
One of the best.
At the top of his game, but before him, it was Calvin Johnson. Before Calvin Johnson, it was Barry Sanders. Now, I'm not saying that he was a Calvin Johnson or a Barry Sanders, but he's very good.
Yeah. And Barry Sanders is a little older,
but a little bit, but like still in the prime of their career.
Yeah,
and
but he was 29.
They just completely walk away
at a position that lasts for a while.
Yeah,
like centers aren't running back. They don't,
And he was banged up, but it wasn't something that was crazy. This is akin to
you see guys walk away.
Akin to Andrew Luck.
He's a running back. Steelers. Remember a couple of years, Mendenhall.
Rashard Mendenhall.
Yeah, it was only a few years. He was pretty walked away. He
limped
beats you up.
Yeah,
and
this Ragnow thing to me is very akin to Andrew Luck.
Yeah, maybe it's just like, my health is on the line. I've made a good living. Why would I continue to put my body at rest?
Right. So, I think that we're going to see. We're going to have to see a lot of
see it here and there, and I think we're going to continue maybe slightly more.
Detroit's going to be a little more different than I think people realize.
Agreed.
What else you got, John?
All right, one more. And this is kind of tie in to two different teams, but let's talk about who wasn't at OTAs. So I'm going to go with two different teams. All right. So who's been absent of OTAs is out of the Atlanta Falcons would be Kyle Pitts. And there's been trade rumors that multiple teams are interested. Right now, he's currently in his final year of his contract. And and then also OTAs who are we're going to go to a different team, and that is the Pittsburgh Steelers are rolling right now with Mason Rudolph.
Yeah.
So the question is, if the Steelers don't get Aaron Rodgers and he decides to retire, do the Steelers make the trade for not only Kyle Pitts, but possibly even Kirk Cousins?
No. They're in
I don't think they trade for.
No.
Yeah, I don't think they trade for either one of them.
I'm hearing things with Jonnu Smith with them.
Jonnu Smith. Yep, Jonnu Smith. That, like he would. Arthur Smith would rather have Jonnu. We've already seen them both together, and he prefers Jonnu Smith. I think Jonnu Smith would be. I agree with you, Anthony. Yeah, the Kyle Pitts trade stuff makes no sense to me.
I think it's. I think they just ultimately. It's. I think it's just what happens, right? When somebody's on a final contract, like there's rumors. Oh well, this team could let go. The Dolphins could trade Tyreek Hill to free up 14 million cap. It's just people saying things that could happen because the team could do it. It's a positive thing if they do it, or whatever the case may be. Just to have some talks going on. But I'm sure it's also, they haven't gotten the production that they wanted out of him. I mean, his first year was okay, but you were expecting more. And I think they keep him unless they get an offer they like. That's where I'm at. And I don't think the offer they're going to get what they probably want.
John, provided it's not the Steelers, what team you are a Kyle Pitts owner in Dynasty,
Yes,
correct? And you traded away some valuable asset to get him, right? Like a second round pick or something like that. What team would you like to see Kyle Pitts on that would you think that it could kind of be his breakout for his career?
Want him to stay in Atlanta.
Realize.
I actually really want him to stay in Atlanta. I think that he should stay in Atlanta. Like, you invested all of this time as an organization in him. You have an opportunity for him to have a breakout year. He's apparently has this foot injury, but I honestly think that they just want to rest him as much as possible because there's a bunch of weapons. This team is talented enough as an offense to possibly win the division. They do. They have a possibility that they could. They're talented enough to. It's the matter of, can they get the team together, and is Raheem Morris an actual good head coach? So my hope is that
defense. You didn't mention defense in there. Their defense
actually regressed under Raheem Morris.
Well, they went out and moved up in 2 first-round defensive picks, so defense got a little better. And if Penix takes the next step, sure. But I don't know. They do have a lot of
everything rides. The whole offense rides on Michael Penix. That's the bottom line. Can Penix? He showed a little something last year, but of course, depending on how you look at him, like counting stats, advanced metrics, blah blah blah. He showed a little something, but he also showed some stuff that was like not so good. It all rides on Michael Penix. That's really what it comes down to. And obviously, they need to be better on defense.
I have a quick one with Atlanta before you move on.
Sure.
Do you think it's more likely for Atlanta to keep both Pitts and Cousins, or move at least one?
I think Cousins should probably, if Atlanta's smart, which we know they're not, but I think they should try to move Cousins.
I think they should try to. I just don't, like you said, it's Atlanta.
That's what I mean. Do you think that they're like, you know what, it's just have a security blanket for this kid for this year? I don't know. Like I it's curious. You would think they would do something.
Yeah, very expensive, unhappy quarterback
Right.
number 2.
Yeah, it's
just at some point it's toxic.
At some point you could probably move. You could probably move him for a defensive piece that could help you too. Somebody something.
Well, I don't know if you get much. It's about getting out of the contract.
Well, it depends. If somebody who has real bad quarterback problems, if in a perfect world,
if they're going to pay
well,
him,
you're not getting the legit. You're not getting the person's edge rusher. But I'm saying, like, if they went and got an additional defensive piece that they need,
just a draft pick. A draft pick that they could spend on.
You offer them a 5th round pick right now, they probably trade.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah.
Well,
it's just who's going to make the pick.
He's
making $3 million a year, unless
what is accepted is all based off of who's eating.
Literally.
Yeah, he got benched.
Yeah,
for a rookie.
Yeah, who didn't like the
what they get and what is given to me is based off of who's eating, like where the money goes. Right, it's like what you're getting is off of the money.
Right, that's Right. That a lot of that comes
Right,
down to
just
the
like
money.
what
If
like
he's willing
a
to
few years ago,
what?
Giants with Seahawks
Buy a better
with
return.
the
Yeah.
Dexter Lawrence. Not Dexter Lawrence. Leonard Williams.
Leonard Williams.
We just ate most of the money to get a second round pick instead of a third.
Better,
So,
and a
right.
fifth
So you
round, yeah.
eat if they're gonna eat the money to get a better pick, or just say, you know what, can you eat the money and we'll take like that's kind of where it's at.
The return will come down to
20.
how much of the contract
That's
is
a
paid by
big
what team.
chunk, fam. Woo.
What else you got,
And
John?
that's a wrap for OTA news.
All right. OTA news with Johnny.
Good job, John.
Fantastic. Okay. Let's talk schedule. It's been a little while since the NFL schedule has been released, but we haven't gone on a stream to really break it down yet. So we're going to look at it in a couple of different ways. The first way we're going to take a look at this schedule real quick is
From a Giants fan point of view.
no. We're going to look at it from
that
an
would be
overall,
what are we talking about next?
overall strength of schedule point of view. So a lot of publicity has been made of the fact that the Giants have the most difficult schedule in the league this year. Maybe what I could do is this.
Bottom or top?
Well, what I'll do, I'm going to try to shrink this window down and then share the window so that everybody can see what we're looking at. Whoops. Shrink schedule. Share.
All right. There it is.
Do you guys see it?
Yeah, actually pretty good.
Yeah.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah. You want to?
Okay. So you want to start from the top?
I would start from the bottom because I feel like you start from the hardest.
Okay, so you guys can see the very bottom right there, right? It's clear.
Yes, sir.
Yep. These are the teams with the toughest schedule and their projected win total. Vegas.
These are the teams with the easiest. We're looking at the teams with the easiest schedule right now. And yes, this column right here is the Vegas projected win total.
No, hardest schedule.
Hardest schedule.
Yeah.
Oh, my bad. My
Yeah.
bad. You're right. I'm sorry. I apologize. So here we go.
Isn't that crazy?
New York Giants. New York Giants projected to win 5.5 games by Vegas, have the most difficult schedule in the NFL, followed by the Cleveland
2 and 3.
Browns. And it almost feels
Right,
not
2
fair.
and 3 in the draft
You know
pick
what I
this
mean?
year. Second and third overall spots.
Yeah. These teams stink. But here we are.
Make it
My
harder
mouth
for
is
them.
now dry from that drink.
Yeah?
The drink's
So
giving
it's
me
working.
the con mouth. Yeah. Okay, so the Detroit Lions and the Philadelphia Eagles, and look at this. So it goes Lions, Eagles, Vikings, Chiefs.
That makes more sense.
That makes a lot more sense, right? Because you look at the win totals: 10.5 for the Lions, 11.5 for the Eagles and the Chiefs, and then you got 8.5 for the Vikings. But then 8.5 for the Bears, who have a pretty difficult schedule. So people who have been excited about the Chicago Bears, that's just one more thing that they now have to
But the
consider.
division stuff.
Everything, and that's true. The
Yeah.
division is tough. So we've seen already the Lions and the Vikings
That's
and the
Minnesota,
Bears,
yeah.
right? So we'll see the Packers.
So there they are.
Bingo, right there, Packers. So we got the Texans projected to win 9.5 games. The
Yeah,
Steelers
playing
projected to
Baltimore
win
twice will do that.
8.5 games. Sure. Green Bay Packers 9.5, and that's the first division, right? That's been completely represented. is the
Yeah, and it
NFC
did not
North.
take long.
So don't let anybody tell you, right? Don't let anybody tell you that's not the best division in football, because it is.
But I think we knew that.
Right.
At least from a depth.
Now you have a straight up piece of data that you can look at. Dallas Cowboys, which I think is like what, the 10th most difficult
Yeah,
schedule.
and the third NFC East team, and there's Washington.
There you go. So the NFC East, that's a tough one. You got the Ravens right here, projected to win 11.5 games. The Rams projected to win 9.5, and then your Commanders 9.5. And then now we're getting towards the easier schedules. The Raiders have one of the middling schedules,
This is where I would start mid.
and they're only projected still to win 6.5 games. That's a team that Vegas doesn't have a lot of faith in.
If they were with Cleveland and New York, they'd probably be 5.5. They were at the bottom.
Yeah. At best 5.5.
Yeah.
Bengals and the Jets and the Chargers sort of right in the middle there. And the Bengals are projected to win 9.5 games in that difficult division. The Jets are only projected to win 5.5 games. So both the Giants, now the Giants have the most difficult schedule in the NFL, and they're projected to win 5.5 games. The Jets have like a right in the middle of the NFL, very like mid-league median difficulty schedule, and they're projected to win 5.5 games. So I think that Vegas is saying that the Giants are a little bit better.
I think the roster might be, the division is tougher though.
For sure.
Yep.
For sure.
Although, yeah.
Patriots better
I
on
think so.
paper. Miami,
for
huge
sure.
question mark. Bills.
'Cause even if you put Philly and Buffalo, then Washington's better than anything, than better than
Yeah.
Miami. You know what I mean? And so, yeah.
Chargers and Broncos in the division with each other projected to win 9.5 games. So that's the Chiefs are projected for 11.5, and then the Broncos and Chargers each for 9.5. That's a lot of wins in the AFC, right? We already saw the Raiders only 6.5.
They're
That's
apparently
a big
losing to
line.
everybody twice.
Right,
Their non-conference has to be pretty easy then. They're only 18.
right. Seattle Seahawks, Colts, Cardinals, Buccaneers have the 10th easiest schedule. That's big. Buccaneers, they have a 9.5 win total. That's going to be fun. The Dolphins have an easy schedule. The Titans have an easy schedule. So Cam Ward, you know,
5.5 still seems generous.
5.5 is generous for sure. I'm surprised there's nobody below 5.5. Maybe that was just like the lowest they
I
would
mean,
go.
as of now,
Yeah, it could be because you have to play that.
before
Yeah,
the draft, it was
It's weird that
and nobody's above 11.5. You don't see
Right.
any 12.5.
Carolina
yeah,
Panthers.
before the
have
draft
seventh easiest-
and the Russell Wilson signing, the Giants were 3.5.
I think it depends also where you look, like
That's fair as well.
You know what I mean? I think it's like different people have different. Like
Yeah.
this is according to I think Sharp Football, Warren Sharp. Carolina Panthers having the 7th easiest schedule is cool to me. Like I really want to see if Bryce Young,
I think they finished second in that division.
if he can play the way he did over the second half of last season, then they could be a real fun team.
I don't think right. Who would you take right now, Michael Penix or Bryce Young?
Ooh,
I would take Bryce Young, and I think Carolina's going to finish second. I do think Tampa wins the division. I don't think anybody else in the division makes the playoffs, but I think
I haven't
they
seen
finish
enough
second.
of Penix.
if they both hit their upside case.
I still think it's
think
Bryce
so.
Young.
No, I don't think it is because Penix has better weapons.
Fair.
Oh, you're talking about the okay. Fair. I thought you were talking about their personal upside. Yeah,
No,
we're
I'm talking about like the
from the
teams.
team
You're talking about
perspective.
how many games they're going to win and lose.
Yeah, his
Penix is. If you give me both of their upside cases, Penix just has a little bit
he's a
slightly
cast.
better weapon.
But yeah, I just think Young's better, and I think their defense is going to be better than Atlanta. Not by much, but better.
I guess we'll see. I can't. I'm not trying to hate on Bryce Young at all. I just think they're
No,
both.
me
They're
neither.
both
And I kind of like Canales.
young and exciting.
He
Agreed.
got him going. He got him going in the second half. Of the
Agreed. Yeah,
I
like,
think
You're basically banking on
Canales.
Chuba Hubbard and then Ted McMillan and Adam Thielen to make up for things. Like there's a lot of
Hubbard was very good last year. So was Thielen when he played.
Thielen it over that back half of the season. You can't say anything bad about Thielen, John, in my
no,
presence.
Or Hubbard.
He helped me win.
I'm not saying in terms of fantasy. I'm just talking
They were
about
both
like
very good
like
last
we're talking about like a
very.
team in total. Like Carolina's defense could be bad.
Now you add
Don't say
him.
Like
anything
I
about
just
the
think
white
Atlanta's
man.
roster is more
Johnny's
more
good.
talented. Like just hands down, they're a more talented team.
Don't you say?
I think their weapons are a little bit better too. I agree, but we'll see. We'll see. And because look right here, Atlanta Falcons. The Panthers are projected to win 6.5 games.
It's not really that bold of a take.
Correct. The Panthers are projected for 6.5. The Falcons, who have the 4th easiest schedule, which I also love for fantasy,
Yeah.
7.5 wins. So they're projected very
Yeah.
closely to each other, and
I'm not
But
going
I-
out on a huge limb.
I don't think that it's. I could also make the argument that the difference between the 4th and 7th most difficult
Nothing.
schedule. Don't say nothing because it's a whole win here.
But that's just based off of. But some of those teams they
So my
play are
point
going to,
is-
and
my
they're going to
point
play a
is
lot of the same teams.
That's a damning stat.
But part of that difference is just off the fact they have to play each other and twice, and they think Atlanta's a little bit better. because the schedules are going to be very
Isn't that what we're talking about?
similar. Yeah, no, that's the general
Isn't that
consensus.
exactly what we're talking about?
But I'm saying,
Dave, what I'm
I think Carolina finishes second as a bold take. Vegas doesn't consider it that bold of a take if they only have a 1-win difference. That's all I'm saying.
Fair.
Yeah,
Fair.
It's not really. I'm not going out on as big of a limb as you might think, according to Vegas.
The Bills having the 5th easiest schedule doesn't feel fair. The Saints need the 3rd easiest schedule because they're a big pile of dog shit.
They should be 5.5. I'm
5.5.
sorry, I don't care about that. Dude, move them up to where the Niners are at, and move them down to 4.5.
Who's going to be the starting quarterback for the first game?
One of the guys on the roster.
No,
maybe.
but I mean, you gotta give me a name.
Jameis Winston.
He's not on the roster.
I know, but he will be.
John, who's going to be the starting quarterback for the Saints?
for the Saints in week 1, Spencer Rattler. That was actually something I wanted to mention.
No, I think Tyler Adams.
So I'm actually a little bit because of their schedule. I have a very interesting take about the New Orleans Saints. I think that Spencer Rattler will surprise people of how he will play. I think that this team could surprise people on putting up some points with Kellen Moore there.
Fair enough. You're on record. Patriots have the 2nd easiest schedule, 7.5 win total. That seems a little generous.
Very generous in my
I guess
opinion.
we'll see.
I think
Unless they think they're better than
with the
Miami.
second easiest schedule, I guess.
Maybe Gabriel coming in the division, you're going to beat up on the Jets and the Dolphins a little bit. Maybe
You figure if that's what they probably have the Patriots beating the Jets twice, and the Dolphins at least one.
And it's probably like New England goes there in week 3, and Miami has to go there in like week 15. Or
Well, we'll talk about that because we got to break down the schedule. So we'll see.
Yeah, so that's the whole overall NFL weakest to or strongest to weakest or hardest to.
Oh, Luke Johnson just said
And,
Tyler Shuck will start week 1.
Yes, I agree, and I think the Niners are prime to go back at it with the easiest schedule in the league.
Yeah, they just got to stay
And a
healthy.
great coach, and
They gotta stay healthy. Like for example, if they're hitting themselves as much as you're hitting yourself, they're not going to have a good
no,
season.
I am definitely the 2024 Niners. No, I'm saying like they have the potential to be more than this.
Luke, I
Agreed.
I think that would be spicy. Like
Yeah.
for the rookie to start, but they did draft him high enough where they, it would make sense.
Older than the other guy.
It would. That's true
I
too.
mean,
Yeah, it's true. So we got Luke and Danny saying Shug, Johnny and Anthony saying Spencer Rattler, and I
Leave me out of it.
couldn't tell you. So here's what we're gonna do. We have 2 Giants fans here.
Stop, it hurts.
Anthony, do you have a piece of paper and pen?
Yes.
Okay. Need you to keep score here, please.
Yeah. Give me
Week 1 of the season, the Giants are at the Washington Commanders.
Loss.
I think we all have that one as a loss,
Yeah.
right?
Week 2.
So, Anthony, the way we're going to do this is we all have to agree on what you're going to keep score. You're not going to keep like 4 different scores. Yeah, we're just
This should be easy.
1 per week. Got me?
Yes.
So we all agree that week 1 is a loss.
Mhm.
Week 2 at the Dallas Cowboys.
Loss.
John, you got an L? Anthony,
I'll
you agree that it's gonna be a loss?
agree willingly.
Fair enough. That's a loss.
Loss.
Week 3, they're at home.
Loss.
They're at home. No, come on. Let me get through it. They're at home
Jumping the gun.
against the Kansas City Chiefs.
Week 4.
They're at home against the Kansas City Chiefs. That's a loss for me. Loss for you,
Loss.
obviously. John lost. Anthony. Okay, so here we are. I don't know what the score is right now, but Anthony's got it.
0-3.
Week 4. Don't spoil it, John. Week 4, Los Angeles Chargers. They're at home.
Win.
The Giants are at home. Wow. Against the Los Angeles
I
Chargers.
think they're a little better, but they're a Cali team flying. They'll probably be due for a letdown. Giants are going to need
This
to
is
win.
a West Coast
This
team
is the game they go
traveling
and win.
east.
Yeah.
Traveling east for a 1:00 game. So this is the stunner for you. This is the one where
Yeah, I don't think it's that big of a stunner for all those factors. Like, I don't think the spread's going to be, unless it completely goes off the rails by then.
I think the Chargers
But-
are a considerably better team.
Yeah, so do I, but I don't think it's out of reach. I think that that's a
I
game
think
I
that's
can
a
see the
game.
Giants.
That's a game of
Giants-
coaching and
That's
time
no way.
management. I think that's how it's going to go.
That's a loss.
You're
That game's a
still
loss.
screwed. Yeah, I got them losing that game. I
0-4,
don't think they're
baby.
beating the Chargers. Wait, no, hang on. We have a dissension because Anthony, do you have it winning? Have them winning?
I
or
give
losing?
him a dub that game. Yeah.
Really?
You can't
Luke.
go Giants. You
Luke.
guys are biased Giants fans.
Put it down as a tie, and we can circle back possibly.
I'll put it as
Fair.
a point, a half. A half.
A what? I don't know. I guess
No, do a tie so we know, like, when we finish, we have one we didn't agree on, rather than like two that we disagreed on, and then it made one, and then we
I'll
lost
do a
track.
couple notes.
Fine.
You're good.
all right.
All right.
Week 5 at the New Orleans Saints. See, I think this is your
This is
first
the
win
first
of the
win of
W.
the season. Yes.
This is at least the second, but continue.
That's the well, so
All
give
right,
him a,
so
give him
that's a dub.
No, no,
straight
yeah.
dub on that one.
Yeah.
Week 6
Loss.
at home against it's a Thursday
Ravens?
night game against
Loss.
the Philadelphia
Loss.
Eagles.
Can we go to the next one?
The Giants DL this season will be comparable to the Great Wall of China. So that's good,
I mean-
I think.
No,
I mean,
they'll hit-
for some people.
yeah,
For some people.
Yeah.
I'm
Okay.
Andrew.
Week 7.
At Denver.
At
Hold on a second. Luke,
can we get a week 9?
do they win? Who wins the Chargers Giants game at New York in week 4? We need you to vote. You have to break the
Yeah.
tie. Chargers versus Giants at the Giants in week 4. We need you to tell us who wins that game.
I'm a Giant fan. That's not fair. I do agree.
Week 7. No, I'm sorry. Week 6 was a loss. Anthony, you got me
Yeah.
so far?
Yeah.
Week 7 at the Denver Broncos.
Loss.
Loss.
Doesn't
Anthony?
matter. Go ahead.
Oh my God.
Yeah, it doesn't. He's right.
It doesn't matter. You should still
Well,
answer.
I think that's a winnable game. I would sect a loss.
Luke got the Bolts, so mark it down as a loss. It's
Keep
official.
it as a tie.
It's official. It's a loss.
Make a note.
It's a loss. All right.
8, right?
At the Broncos, at the Eagles.
Next.
That's a loss as well.
Yep.
Right,
lost.
John? You with me? Okay. Thank you for voting too, Luke. Don't go anywhere. We might need you again. Week 9,
Loss.
They're at home against San Francisco.
Loss.
That's a
Loss.
I think
dub.
they're gonna lose.
Loss. Okay.
What'd you say,
Dub for
Anthony?
me, loss for you guys. I'm the only one, so okay.
Luke thinks that the Giants will surprise week 2 and upset either the
I
Redskins or
have
Cowboys.
the
I think the
Cowboys. I
Cowboys
have
are
them,
the
in my
ones.
opinion.
They're more likely
in my
to beat the
opinion,
Chargers
I
at
have
home
them-
than they are.
I have them losing both to the Eagles. I have them sweeping the Cowboys this year and 1-1 with the Skins. That's the Commanders is my prediction. But go ahead, we're on 10, right?
Yeah, week 9 was a loss to the Niners. Week 10 at Chicago.
Loss.
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 Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not gonna argue.
No, I mean listen, the Bears. The
week
Bears
11.
have like the most weapons that anybody does, dude. That's you know what I mean.
On the road.
Yeah,
Yeah.
if we're talking about like both teams at their upside case,
yeah, I
then,
can't-
then
I
they're
can't
on the road.
argue that at
Yeah.
all. But I could say new head coach,
Week
great,
11
you know, a lot of circumstances, sure. But we're talking week 11. They've kind of figured it out by now.
Packers.
Week 11 Packers at New York.
Loss.
Loss.
Same.
Loss.
Week 12
Oh my God.
at Detroit.
Week
Loss.
12 at the Detroit
Loss.
Lions.
Loss.
Loss.
I'll go dub.
Week 13
I knew it.
at New
Win.
England.
Dub. I just think it'll be a little bit better.
Give them the win. Give them the
Yeah.
win. It's going to be a loss, by the way. It's going to be a loss. They're going to get smoked.
14
They're gonna get
biggest win of the
smoked by
year.
Vrabel's Patriots. It's going to be crazy.
Win.
Week 14 bye.
Dub.
Week 15 home
Loss.
home against
Loss.
the Commanders.
Loss.
Loss.
Win. Go ahead.
Win.
Week 16 home against the Vikings.
Win.
Loss.
No, it's a loss. Luke, week 16 Giants host the Vikings. Who
He's
you
the
got?
he's the deciding one again. Yeah.
No,
Yeah,
they
there's
were
no
gonna
way.
beat Washington on the road.
there's no
but
way.
Not the Chargers at home.
What?
He said they're going to upset the Redskins or the Cowboys.
We said that already. We know that.
We're up to week 17 and 18.
After
Okay, week
Yeah.
17 at the Raiders.
I'll go
Win.
dub.
Weird.
Loss. But you mark it down as a win. That's fine.
Week 18.
Week 18
Win.
I'll go dub.
Jackson Dart will be
Win.
starting.
Who?
at I'm sorry, home against Dallas.
Yeah, that's their division win.
Okay.
They're gonna win.
The home game.
Yeah, the
I
closer.
didn't pick him on the road but I'll pick them at home.
They're going to win that game because they want to lose for a better draft pick because they'll have like 2
Bang,
wins at
Giants
that point, right?
win.
And I had him at like
Mark it down.
Mark it down. I have the Giants at 4-11,
so hold on.
at 4-13.
Anthony, what did we
came
come
to? And I'm counting Luke as we had 2 tiebreakers. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 losses.
so yeah, 5 and 12.
5 and 12.
And they have him at 5.5. I think I had him at
So
5 or
it's
6. So that
slightly
makes
under.
sense. Yeah.
5 and 12.
Well, we had to go under.
And here's
Whatever.
the thing: you guys are going to have 4 wins. You'll be like in position to get the first pick in the draft, and you're going to win that last game of the year
Because
and fuck
Dallas
up
isn't
your
gonna be
draft
like
pick.
probably isn't going to be great this
And
year
they're
either.
going to fuck up your draft pick.
Yeah.
But Dable will keep his job.
Yeah.
no,
He'll be out.
Yeah, Luke. Russ will come out of the gate hot, only to crumble by week 5 and have fans begging for Dar. Exactly. As soon as Russ throws 2 consecutive incomplete passes, the crowd is going to be like, "Where's
His first
Justin
interception.
Dar?"
That's it. Pull him out.
Give us Jameis. Give us Jameis.
Yeah, give us the speech that we need.
At least that's another player. We talked about Kirk Cousins getting traded. It's like Jameis, free Jameis.
Yeah.
Free Jameis, man.
He might get
Like,
traded by
what-
the deadline.
What's going on? That would be so awesome.
I think
Free
there was just
Jameis.
a security blanket. Like they don't how they go about drafts. They want to be able to have a starting team before the draft and then add to it. Blah 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 blah. Security blanket so you can let the kid ride. And if Russ gets hurt, Winston can go in and not force the kid in. I like it, but I do agree. I would love for Winston to go somewhere and light it up.
Yo,
As we do.
Jets time.
oh,
do you got, John?
before we go into that, I did want to mention one thing about the schedule that we did not talk about is that after the Cowboys bye in week 10, the Cowboys have a brutal rest of the year after the week 10. So I wanted to a little talk about that because I think the Cowboys might like lose possibly like 6 games in a row, possibly.
Loses some jobs at the end of the year.
They're not going to be good.
Yeah, like the Cowboys might go on a losing streak at the end of the year.
Dude, the Cowboys are getting
You think so?
47 minutes, 25 seconds. Cowboys are losing twice this year to the Giants.
Write it down.
They're using
Write it
Write
down.
it down.
Yeah. Put
You
some,
got the notes
So
in
I
front of you,
really
man.
quick
Write it down.
wanted to
Tell
go.
me.
yeah. Open up the sports book. Don't tell me.
Go ahead, John.
Yeah.
So
Go ahead,
at
John.
week 10, they have a pretty long bye, but in 13 days, they play 3 games. They play the Raiders, the Eagles, and then Kansas City.
Okay.
So
three
so-
games in 13 days.
Only one
yeah,
winnable
one
game
winnable
there.
game. And then after that, they're at Detroit, Vikings, Chargers, Washington. That's a brutal freaking schedule, bro. That is brutal. And then
It
I
is.
think that the Cowboys are just going to be so defeated by getting their ass kicked that they're going to be like, oh, the winnable game will be against the Giants. And the Giants are going to beat them in the last game of the season. But anyway, I have them. But I just wanted to point that one thing out about the Cowboys schedule is that after their bye, it's going to be a buzzsaw.
All right, so John, who
Nice.
finishes bottom of the division, Giants or Cowboys?
Cowboys.
Oh, you're even lower on them.
Interesting. Well, Luke is pretty low on them. Luke says that the Cowboys stink. George Pickens doesn't move the needle the way that dumb Cowboys fans
I'm going to
think
say
it
Luke's the
does.
Giants fan.
Well, yeah, that's pretty clear. I think George Pickens moved the needle a little bit.
Yeah.
Certainly, CeeDee Lamb thinks he moves the needle
Yeah.
because CeeDee Lamb is going to be running
CeeDee
free
Lamb's
like a
just going to be so
fucking-
excited that he's not the
no,
only person on the
madman.
team that can catch the ball.
Correct. George Pickens, mez. The
Well,
Jets,
you have to
week 1.
respect and put somebody on him. You know what I mean? Less double teaming and whatnot.
Yep.
So I'm like, hey, CeeDee Lamb fans love that.
The Jets, week 1, are at Green Bay.
Loss.
I got that as a loss. Anthony, you writing this down?
I have win.
I'm the note taker.
Or you got a loss?
What?
Jets, week 1.
Oh, yeah.
At
Oh,
Green
yeah.
Bay.
Oh, I thought
John's
they played
calling a win.
Pittsburgh week 1.
At
Yeah, it
Green-
is. You're in the preseason.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh,
They don't play the
hold on a
Giants.
second.
No.
Yeah,
just scroll
what
down.
quarterback does do the Steelers have?
Mason Rudolph, bro.
Go back.
Rudolph, the red-nosed reindeer guy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Jets win.
There we go.
That's a Jets win.
Sorry about that. Yeah. Sorry about that.
At
It's
home.
Week 1 at home against the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Dang.
I'll
I
take the
kinda
Jets.
threw-
I'll take the Jets.
I'm gonna go with an L there.
I'll say the Jets to win.
All right.
Week 2,
loss.
home against the Buffalo
Loss.
Bills. It's a loss.
Loss.
Yep. Loss.
Anthony. Week 3 at Tampa
Loss.
Bay.
Loss.
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 I want to go to that game.
Loss.
Week 4 at
Loss.
Miami.
Loss.
I think they split one. It's home.
No, this is the road one.
It's away. I'll say loss, I guess. Week 5 home against
Win.
the Cowboys.
I say win. I think the Cowboys are a big regress, even though, like you said, you got Pickens.
Loss.
Loss. Luke, week 5. Dallas Cowboys versus New York Jets at the Jets.
Luke's a Giants fan. He's gonna say the Jets. Cowboys can't win.
You never know.
Yeah,
If you're a Giants
I'm a
fan,
Giants fan.
yeah, you might have.
I said
you know,
Cowboys.
yeah, you're not. Oh well, maybe it depends. Week 6, Denver Broncos at
Loss.
New York.
Loss.
Week 7, at the Jets. Carolina at the Jets. Loss.
Loss.
That's another one, Luke.
Luke, week 7, Carolina at the Jets. Week 8,
Loss.
at Cincinnati. It's a loss.
Loss.
Win.
Loss.
I know. Next one.
Cowboys win week 5.
Cowboys win
Okay,
week
so that's
5.
a loss for week 5, and then week 7 was against the Panthers.
Yeah, week 7, home against the Panthers. Fields is pick city. Yeah,
So I guess
It could-
Carolina.
that could happen. But yeah, we got Carolina at New York Jets in week 7. We need your vote on that one as well. Okay, week 9, they got a bye. Week 10, they're home against the Cleveland
Win.
Browns. I get them winning now.
Win.
Week 11, at
Loss.
New England.
Loss.
Loss.
Lost to Carolina.
Lost to Carolina. Bryce Young throws for 303. Okay.
They have it.
At week 12, at the Baltimore Ravens.
Massacre.
Loss. Yeah, big time. Week 13, home against the Atlanta Falcons.
Win.
Win.
That's a
I think it's
loss.
a loss too. Luke, we need you, and I think he's gonna go with a loss if I'm gonna guess right.
Yeah, I don't think he's a believer in the Jets
Loss.
this year.
He doesn't like the
Yeah,
Jets.
he's
Luke
definitely
doesn't.
gonna be like the Jets lose every game this season, which would be great.
I like I like the Falcons. I think the Falcons are just a little more put together than the Jets right now. I could be wrong by week 13. Week 14, Jets home against Miami.
Win.
Win.
Week 15, at Jacksonville.
Loss.
I think
Loss.
that's a win. I'll take that as a win.
Win.
Luke, we need you
tie.
there.
Luke, where are we with Luke?
13
We need,
and 15.
home against Atlanta, at Jacksonville. Week 16, at New Orleans.
Win.
Win is fine.
Loss.
Week 17,
Right.
home against
Win.
the Patriots.
Win.
Sure, win. And then week 18 at Buffalo, loss.
I'm gonna say win because they're resting their starters.
Good call. Good call.
We're at.
I agree.
All right, are we putting?
It's actually a win. I changed my vote to a win on that week.
I'm going to
18.
go loss. They're playing for the 1 seed.
Okay, I like it.
So then, that would be. There's a lot of splits here for the Jets, huh?
Lot. Yeah, we had 4 games that were split.
Yeah.
So if 18, wait, we split on the last one. Bills 2 wins, 2 L's.
He got
So we
Did
have
we?
like the
Yeah,
Jets
they both think they're gonna-
having either
So
either being 5-12 or
Jets will probably be incentivized to lose and get like a very high draft pick too, but we'll see.
at that point, yeah, maybe.
So there's 8 guaranteed L's with
how could the Jags?
4
I swear I don't
with
hate the
4
Jets, I don't even
splits.
know.
So
Gotcha.
as low as 8, as high as 12. We think that Luke extra hates the Jets. So between a high of 12 losses, a low of 8.
Wow, their schedule is a lot easier than Giants.
Yeah, but their record might not be much better.
No,
What
it
a
might
mess.
be, but if you gave them the Giants schedule, I'll probably have won like one last game.
Sheesh, what a mess. Okay, fellas, we just talked about the two local teams, but what I'd like to know from you guys is who you think is going to win each division.
All right, we'll start AFC.
Hold on a second.
Hold on, and I also got to get my
Yeah,
phone out because
here.
I'm also going to be placing like live bets as we do this.
Oh my God! The
Oh,
jellies, the jellies
right.
are flowing.
Yeah, 1-8 flash the 1-800 number.
1-800 gambling.
Yeah.
1-800 help
Hey,
me.
these are big. These are like big division winners, and I've been correct. So I'm gonna. There's certain ones that I'm definitely gonna bet on.
Okay. So what we'll do is we'll do the AFC first, and then we'll do the NFC.
What are we doing first? Yeah, that's the norm. AFC East first.
Give me 1 second.
All right.
Okay,
Calm down,
yeah.
guys.
So let me do this. Danny,
Yeah.
Johnny, and Dave. Okay.
All right. AFC East.
Let's talk AFC East,
Buffalo.
boys.
I think it's Buffalo for everybody.
You got-
I assume.
Yeah.
AFC East, Buffalo.
You're a Buffalo.
There we go. All right.
Sorry. So everybody's got Buffalo, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, AFC West.
Ooh, I guess
AFC
you gotta
Kansas
go.
City.
I'm
Kansas
So
City.
we got Kansas City. We got the
Kansas City.
Chargers,
Chargers,
Jeez.
Broncos, Raiders.
Broncos. You got
KC.
the Raiders. Kansas City for
Okay.
everybody, right?
Well, for
Yeah.
me. For this guy.
Got it.
Luke goes Falcon and Jags. I swear I don't hate the Jets.
Okay. AFC North.
I'm gonna maybe it's more because I want it, but I think Cincy, man. I feel Cincy could.
With that suspect ass defense, hell no. And they start off the season slow every single year. It's like clockwork. They're gonna lose the first 3 games of the season.
I mean, they have a shot, but I'm still gonna go Baltimore until they don't.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty tough
To not pick Baltimore, but if we're predicting, I'll take it.
Yeah, somebody's got to be different.
Yeah. Okay, so Anthony, you're taking
Cincy.
Cincy. John, you're taking Baltimore.
Baltimore, yep.
Danny as well.
Mhm.
And I also will be taking the Ravens. And oh man. Okay. AFC South. You got your Houston Texans. You got your Tennessee Titans. You got your Jacksonville Jaguars. Or Jaguars, if you're an idiot.
Oh.
Dude. And which one didn't I say?
Colts.
The Colts. Indianapolis Colts.
I'm caught between Texans and Jags. That's a shitty division. I go Houston. I do think Jags will be spicy.
I'll take Houston as well.
I too will take Houston. I hate that we all have the same picks basically. Okay, so we have AFC wild card. 3 of them.
Ravens. Jaguars. Oh no, Ravens, Chargers, Broncos.
I have Denver, Chargers, Cincy.
Same.
Basically, we're all gonna have the same except the swap of Cincy and Ravens.
So I had Ravens, Chargers, Broncos for Anthony. John, who were yours? I'm sorry.
Denver, Chargers, Cincy.
God,
What?
I'm just pushing the wrong buttons.
That's all right. Insane.
So you had Denver. I'm sorry. Chargers, Denver, and the Bengals.
The Bengals, yeah.
Danny, who did you have?
Same exact 3.
Same exact. These are basically like the same exact teams except the Bengals, right? The Bengals are the obvious team that didn't make the playoffs last year that could make the playoffs this year. But other than that, every other team made the playoffs last year, right? That everybody's picking.
Yeah.
Pretty much. Except Cincy, yeah.
Right. But like, again, Cincinnati, they do, as you mentioned, have a little bit of a suspect defense. They drafted some defense. So we'll see if like that kid, if Shamar Stewart pans out, you know, that defense could get real good real quick. So I like the Bengals for sure.
How could you not?
Right. And I definitely I was thinking really hard. I was, you know, I almost did it and I almost did it again. I was thinking the Chargers have a chance to actually win that division. Like I think that Harbaugh
They do.
actually, yes, but less so. I think the Chargers just have that little edge.
A little bit. I don't think it's massive.
No.
Just to me, it's like we're choosing the Chiefs because it's the Chiefs and just like
when I
always
say
Chiefs.
it, until I say it,
right, and it's the same thing. But to me, I think between the Chargers and the Broncos, it's anybody's game between the three
NFC
of those
will be
teams.
a lot more fun.
Between the Chiefs,
I
Broncos,
finished it.
and the Chargers, to me, any one of them could finish on top, and I wouldn't be surprised.
I think the AFC is pretty easy to kind of nail down.
Yeah, apparently.
The
Your mom's pretty easy to nail down?
The NFC is going to be more fun.
Your mom's pretty easy to nail down. Oh snaps!
Oh snap!
All right, so now we're on
NFC East.
Sorry. NFC. Stand by 1 sec for me.
Hold on.
Okay, NFC East. NFC East. Is it the Eagles again, or do the Commanders take it this year?
Washington.
It's the Eagles.
It's the Eagles until further notice.
Somebody's got to be different at some point.
No, I agree. I just don't think that. I mean, they have a great QB, and that they're in the ride to have a great team for a long time. But I still think they need a little more work to be on top of Philly.
I think they have a better quarterback, and they greatly improved the roster.
Yeah,
NFC West.
49ers.
Same.
Okay.
Rams.
Anthony.
And I too will be choosing the Rams.
49ers are falling off this year. They're going to go under that win total.
They have the easiest schedule.
Don't
Yeah,
care, John.
Anthony.
Don't care, John.
I think I got him in the wild card.
Me too.
NFC North. You got-
North, I'm gonna go with Green Bay.
Green Bay.
Are you just copying John? Is that what's going on here?
No, the Eagles.
Damn. I could see it. I mean, Detroit just keeps like depleting and depleting. But give me Dan Campbell, bro.
That means the Lions. Yeah.
It does, yeah.
It does. It does. That is right. You are correct.
I don't know, man. I don't know.
Yeah, it's a tough one, man. I think Minnesota has a great team, sure, but JJ McCarthy is still a question mark. You got to show me something for me to put you up there.
Anthony, I'm surprised you're not talking about your boy.
Yeah, no, I mean
Vikings.
Right, so I'm gonna go Minnesota.
He did it.
Minnesota Vikings.
Ah.
Minnesota.
Wow.
That's a good one.
Needs to make a big step. Big leap this year.
Wow.
They were pretty good last year.
Yeah,
I don't
they
know if you
were.
remember,
They were.
they were pretty
They
good.
were.
Tampa. NFC
Tampa.
South.
Everybody, Tampa.
We think. Or Dave, are you riding with Tampa? Your boy Baker?
I like Tampa a lot.
Yeah, so okay, yeah.
I like Carolina too, though.
So you don't think it's outlandish that Carolina has a decent year?
No, not at all. No, I wasn't. And again, I wasn't arguing with you. I was just you know,
No, I
playing
get it.
out the scenario. Okay, hit me with some wild card teams, boys.
Rams.
Rams.
Lions
I have Detroit and Commanders.
and Philly.
So you got commies, John. Who else?
I have Commanders, Detroit, Rams.
Anthony.
Commanders, the Falcons, Minnesota, or the Niners. Minnesota. Leave the Niners out this year, baby. I'm down on the Niners.
I have the Niners in my. Okay, so I have the Commanders as a wild card. I have the 49ers as a wild card. And I just need to pick my final wild card.
The Falcons, bro.
No.
It's your team.
Falcons, not over like they're good, like they're fun, but I don't think that they're necessarily going to be better than the Lions or the Packers. You know, who I have the Vikings winning that division,
Or Carolina,
or Carolina for that matter. They're in that ilk that like not quite ready to win,
Right.
not quite ready to win yet. I am going to say it's the.
I didn't realize that. Yeah, I chose them over the Vikings too, and didn't realize that.
Lions. Dan Campbell gets a wild card spot. So there we go. All right. So we have all of our picks in. I will send you guys your picks.
good job, everyone.
Yeah. Good job, everyone.
A little diversity in the end. I like it.
Yeah, at least the NFC was a little bit. There's some different teams winning, and you know.
Yeah, literally, our AFC team were like 90% match. Yeah, and then
Sure.
And then NFC is different.
Tomorrow opens up. The rest of the teams start their OTAs, so I'm interested in seeing how that shakes out.
Shake it out, John.
Yeah. A good song.
All right, boys.
Need to start playing these dang.
One more. What's going on here? one more segment to the show. We've talked a lot about divisions. We've talked a lot about things in like a general sense. Final step.
Final step
Is
the Muffin Man. The Muffin Man.
Do you know the Muffin Man? The Muffin Man.
Now this is just a rando. It's not like we're doing our leagues and shit, right?
no, we're not. Yeah, no. All we're gonna do is I'm just gonna like set the player. I'm just gonna plug the player in. We're not gonna start. I'm not gonna even start the clock.
Oh, okay. So we're picking who we agree with 50%
Yeah.
or more.
Yeah,
I just wanna-
universal. Try to get a general.
Right. We're just gonna talk about the first 2 rounds, 3 if we're feeling like it. If we're feeling froggy, we'll do 3 rounds, but we're just trying to do 2 here.
All right. So Jamar Chase.
Yeah.
Does everybody agree that it's Jamar Chase and not someone else? Like, is there anybody in like that's also possibly in the conversation?
Sure, but no.
I think it's Jamar Chase or JJ here.
I mean, I'm heavily more into Chase, but I won't be. If somebody chooses JJ 1 overall, you're not going to be mad at him.
Say that again.
I said I'm saying Chase here, me all day, but like if somebody else chooses JJ 1 overall, you're not going to be mad at him. Oh, bro, what'd you do? You know, like I'm not gonna do one of those.
But I'll go with Chase number 1. That's easy for me.
You got anything, or you just Chase?
No, yeah, definitely.
Okay. And I'm gonna click it, and then it's just gonna spin for 15 minutes. Oh, there we go.
Oh, there we go.
I'm gonna shut that off. Okay, second pick in the draft. This is where things get interesting. You guys can't really see. I don't know if you can see the.
I could see it on the bottom left.
Oh yeah, we could see it.
How do you have them sorted?
It's just ADP.
Okay.
Just current ADP
Okay, that's
right now
what I
on
think.
Sleeper. So current ADP on Sleeper has Saquon number 2, then Justin Jefferson, then Bijan, then CeeDee Lamb, then Gibbs. So you got 3 running backs and 2 receivers. You got Barkley, Bijan, Gibbs. You got Justin Jefferson, CeeDee Lamb. So let's just talk about
Is this, are we drafting for our PPR league or our half PPR dynasty?
that. Let's do PPR league.
Okay.
PPR league redraft.
Good, because that's the league we're drafting in.
Right.
Right. So, all right.
I'm going to go with JJ for me.
So you're going receiver there. As far as like
To me, the
top-
2-3 is Barkley, JJ, however you want to slice it.
where are you? You agree with that?
I'd probably go Barkley.
Barkley, then JJ.
But either way, it's fine.
I would agree, but I wouldn't. Like I said, to me, the first 3
That's
being
how
those
I would
picks,
slot those two.
I think you can't argue that. Then it starts to get interesting after the first 3.
So
What about you?
me, I guess I kind of agree with that. I look at it pretty much the same way. I think that it's like Chase, Jefferson, and CeeDee Lamb are
Yeah, I was
the
going to
first,
say Lamb's my 4.
the first tier of
Yeah.
players,
Lamb's my 4.
and then you got Barkley, Bijan, and Gibbs, and that's just like the 3 receivers and 3 running backs in there that are in tier 1. You know what I mean? Like those 3 guys are.
Do we
each in
all
tier
agree on
1.
that?
So-
I agree with that. Now it's a matter of how you're placing them 6th. John.
What was that?
Oh no, I didn't know if it was me that was frozen, if it was you or it's them. It's him.
Oh,
Okay.
It's me. It was us. Yeah,
You're good, you're good.
my internet is acting up.
Yeah.
So are
Okay,
we all
so-
in agreement that the top 6 players in the draft are 3 and 3? 3 RBs, 3 wide receivers in any order how you want to slice it, but do we at least agree that those are the top 6 players?
yeah.
Yes.
Okay. So then now it's a matter of how you want to place them. At least we know the 6.
So I'll do Jefferson. I'll do Barkley.
I would go Lamb for.
So you'd go Lamb before the other 2 running backs.
I go Lamb, Gibbs,
I go
Robinson.
Bijan here.
So you would go Lamb. You'd go Bijan. Anthony, where are you?
Well, the way I draft is I would go receiver first, but like I said, to me, if I'm in any one of those 6 players, and as long as Chase is number 1, you know what I mean. It's you're getting your guy in what you believe. Any of those 6, those are the top 6 picks in my opinion.
Yeah, you were trying to find out who you believe in.
Because it varies. Like some people want to just in there. All right, listen, I got the 3rd overall pick. I'm locking down running back, whatever the best one there is available, right? And it could be Barkley for you, or like you know what I mean. So it's how you go. So I'm fine with those. Are the top 6 players.
So after CeeDee Lamb, you guys would go Bijan.
Bijan, yeah.
I would
go.
I would go Gibbs Bijan, but
You would
either way.
Yeah, I'm gonna go Bijan with this one. Bijan, was great last year. He might even be better this year. Like he can arguably be top 3 in fantasy this year. And they're frozen again.
No, I think they're really thinking hard.
Bro, this is great though.
I know, because you know what? It's usually me. I'm always freezing, or my shit's unplugged. So I'm just happy that I'm somewhat okay. When I started off, my light was atrocious. I looked like I was glowing, and then I shut it off, and then I looked like I was a smoky ghost. All right, I'm gonna go check on the kids 2 seconds because it looks like I have it.
Yeah, I'm fine with that. Bro, this I did a snippet, it's not working. Damn.
Oh, yeah, bro.
Yeah.
Like, let's see.
Mic check 1 2 1 2.
I might check once. We were talking about Kirk Cousins.
Yeah, is Luke still there? What's up, Luke?
I bought a pack and I ended up pulling a pretty good Kirk Cousins, but it's Kirk Cousins.
Yeah, that is true. It is Kirk Cousins. If you could get a Trevor Lawrence, I would.
It's not signed, but it's out of 135.
My Kyle Pitts one. That's why I'm hoping he stays with the Atlanta and just smashes it this year and gets his contract. Because I'm like, boom, like this guy might be amazing.
So I ended up getting another. I think somewhere I have a Kyle Pitts. That's it's not obviously like that one. That one's much better, but it's. Oh, I got a nice Michael Penix patch. It's a numbered car at least. A nice Pitts. But yeah, I'm dabbling in it just to kind of, do a little research. But I ended up grabbing some cool collector's cards. So like, even so, like I'm gonna say like, oh shit, dude, who's on our dynasty team? I got a good card of one of your dynasty guys. You know what I mean? Like, I think that's fun.
Yeah, it is. It is fun. Are they? Is he coming back?
Like, I don't know, to be honest.
Yeah, that internet situation he's got going on. But I just put my bet in, by the way. I did a parlay for the AFC and NFC. For the AFC, it was only a $1 bet, and it's like $9.19 you win. That's like
wait, you did all of the AFCs?
Yeah, and all the NFC division winners.
Wait, separately or as one giant?
As one.
So yeah, an 8-leg parlay with that. It's probably like plus 10,000, like 100,000.
I did the AFC and NFC separate.
Oh, okay. Because if you did them all, I think I did that last year. I put a $5 bet, to get all 8 right, and it was like 10 grand payout.
Dang.
Well, because I did choose the Giants as one.
Yeah.
No. It was last year. I chose the Jets. And that over.
What about conference futures? Do you think that the NFC conference winner will be the Eagles?
I mean, you kind of It's kind of hard.
Do you
to
think
say.
it'll be Eagles, Chiefs again? Pretty much.
Super Bowl?
Yeah.
No. Somebody else I think is gonna make it AFC. Dude, I'm Bengals, bro.
Bengals, really? Bengals are plus 900.
Possible.
Oh, they're there.
Sorry, guys. I don't know. I was just telling Danny, like, I don't know what's going on. This has never happened before, obviously. But this is now the second time that this is happening. Well, this has never happened before, but like the second time I'm having trouble. And I don't know what to say or do about it, but I do apologize.
It's okay.
It's all right.
I'll cry.
I'm going to give it one more try and see if maybe we can do this. All right. Wish me luck. Wish me luck.
Good luck.
Because what I was about to do was plug in Jahmyr Gibbs and Bijan Robinson. Oh, God.
All right. What do you got next?
That's a good question. On the list, we have Amon-Ra, Malik Neighbors, Puka, Nico, Brian Thomas Jr., and then Drake London. Okay, and A.J. Brown. So the next bunch of receivers, I'll read them again. Amon-Ra, Malik Neighbors, Puka Nacua, Nico Collins, Brian Thomas Jr., Drake London, A.J. Brown. As far as running backs, it's Derrick Henry, Devon Achane, Ashton Genty, Bucky Irving, and Christian McCaffrey. So I don't know if any of us are actually drafting at this point in the draft next year. I know I'm not drafting at this point in the draft.
I think I am 7th.
Okay, so
I think I'm 6th.
I'll jump in so that you guys don't play too much of a hand on this one. But I'll say that for me,
If I was sitting here, right here, I'd probably go Neighbors.
of course you would. You're a Giants fan.
I'm gonna go Puka. I'm gonna go Puka or Nico Collins with this one.
Puka or Nico Collins. And Anthony, you wouldn't consider Brian Thomas Jr. here instead of Neighbors?
No, because I have him.
Okay.
If I didn't,
that's not being helpful.
Yeah,
like
it's
you're not
being helpful.
You have to talk about this.
I would choose Neighbors. I think just
Right, that's
the
fair.
athlete himself. He's
more than fair.
He's a freak of nature. I think he's talented as hell. As long as he can stay healthy, he could finish as the top 3 receiver. He
I would
could.
go me personally and Nico.
Nico? What? Why Nico?
Nico Collins.
I know who it is. I know which Nico you were talking about.
I just think that CJ's.
Nico Collins.
Yeah.
Oh, right. Anyway, go ahead. What were you going to say?
I think CJ's prime for a big year, and I just think he's going. They drafted a couple young receivers that are going to help him get open, but aren't a threat to really work. Become the alpha.
Right on.
And in a division that kind of stinks.
And so, John, you mentioned Nico, and you also mentioned Puka.
Yes.
I would have Puka next.
What's your Neighbors? So you'd have Nico, Puka. John, what would you have?
I would have Nico. I would have Puka, Nico, and then Amon-Ra, and then Neighbors.
I would have Neighbors and St. Brown, but they're all very close to me, all 4.
Yeah, and then Brian Thomas.
Brian Thomas is after. Brian Thomas is after that for you guys.
I would push Amon-Ra actually a little further down.
No, I would literally keep that 12, and then when Thomas, and I would throw Henry in there, and then just a little bit of a drop for him.
I only heard the last part.
I would that 12, that line, that cut off Brian Thomas, and throw Derrick Henry in that mix, and then that's my first round.
In this exact order? Amon-Ra? No.
No, it
but
would
those
be
players. Well,
yeah,
again,
yeah,
that's
no,
also
yeah,
not
yeah.
helpful.
Yeah.
So
Well, no, I
that
already
group
gave
of
you.
guys.
No, it would be Nico, Nuka, Neighbors,
I love it.
St. Brown, Henry. No, Henry, St. Brown. No, yeah, Henry, St. Brown, Thomas. But it's like they're all very close.
Anthony?
To not be biased and take the neighbors out of there, but I'm fine with Nico right there. Nico, neighbors, Puka, BTJ, Amon-Ra, Henry.
Reconnect, you motherfucker. Hello?
Hello?
You can hear me?
Yeah.
Yes, I can hear you.
Oh, okay.
All right.
It's everything. It sounded like it stopped. We were just
No,
sitting
no,
here.
no. I didn't know if you heard me, so I didn't want to keep speaking.
Oh, okay, okay.
So I think we're all fine with Nico there.
Fair enough. So I'm gonna go Nico, and then I'll throw Puka. Then I'll
Okay.
throw Neighbors.
I'm fine with
Neighbors.
that.
I would go. Yeah, sure. Like I said, it doesn't really matter much. And then I would go probably Henry, and then
So you'd go Henry here at 10. This is where you'd throw the next running back on the board.
I
Now
think
it's
so. Yeah,
and
it
it's
would be
Henry. It's not Achane. It's not Ashton Genty. You'd still go Henry over a
Yeah,
over
give me the
Genty.
touchdown. Yeah, it just seems too safe.
I agree. I would choose Henry over those other two, but I would choose BTJ in front of Henry.
That's fair.
John.
I'll do BTJ in this one.
Yeah, another another receiver.
Yeah, push those running backs, bro.
So we're doing Brian Thomas. Now is Derrick Henry next though? So it's Derrick Henry over Amon-Ra.
I'm fine with that, or if it's Amon-Ra
I'm
first.
okay with that as well. I've really got to screenshot these things and send.
No,
it to
wait,
you.
are they frozen? Yeah, they're
Yeah.
frozen.
So let me do the screenshot real quick. Yo, I'm gonna send him an email with this.
This is a good face. I'm gonna send it in the group chat. I think we might. I don't like. There's no way we're getting to 3 rounds.
No.
No, it's been an hour and a half. We should end it at 1. This is our first round.
I want to see how good your camera is, Anthony, first. Oh, that's bad, Anthony.
Who is it?
It's a very bad picture. I'm going to put mine in there compared.
Well, I took a picture of a screen. I took a picture with my phone. Oh, yeah. Well, you screenshot with your camera? I mean, with your computer?
Camera.
No, I did that with my phone.
I did it with my phone, too. Like, that was a phone picture.
What kind of phone do you have?
I have an Android.
Maybe is it a better camera than this?
I have a very good camera. Like, my camera's very good. I take very good pictures.
Oh, well, maybe. It's got to be a combination of me just being a dirty phone man and also not having a good camera. All right. I'm not trying to.
So I also think it's your draft strategy, and we're in redraft. But I'm also trying to do this in a way of like, all right, like if I'm just doing a redraft league, like this is who I would like to draft at this position if I had this pick.
Yeah, but like that's when it comes to that shit, bro. Everybody has like a different thing. Like I'd rather like you're in a PPR, like I'd rather my first pick, unless I'm like the 9th pick and all receivers have already went, I want to grab a receiver. That's just me. Like I'd rather grab a receiver 1 and then come back with the 2 and grab an RB.
Yo, so check this out. Bobby J's league, I'm thinking of keeping Chase Brown, but keeping TJ Hawkinson in our redraft always Sunday. Because I think TJ Hawkinson could go back to being a top 5 tight end. And I don't have to worry.
Who was the other option, though?
J-Mo.
I mean, Chase Brown is the answer for Bobby J's, but
J-Mo. It's either J-Mo or TJ, and I like TJ. And I also think I could draft J-Mo as my wide receiver 3.
I think that's kind of, I guess, like if I was up in the air, I would be looking at what round those guys go in. And
Well, TJ has more value because the position's so thin.
right, and you lock up that position, sure, but it's not a bad either player isn't a bad choice. Yo, I'm not staying on any longer, bro. Like, what's going on?
Yeah, I have to hop off in a little bit too. I'll wait for him to get back, but
Man. Come on. Yeah, I'm about to just fucking. Dude.
yeah. Did he text us yet?
No, I mean he's probably trying to just restart. I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah, my phone's about to die. Shit's at like 9%. Nothing yet.
Oh, here we go.
I'm really sorry, fellas. I'm just gonna call it. This is like, I don't know what to say. This is nothing like this has ever happened before. It's completely ridiculous, and that's not fair to make you guys sit here and just keep watching me fucking fall off. My internet just straight stops. It just stops. And I can't.
You don't gotta explain that to me, bro. It happens reg over here.
Nothing like. I mean, I've never experienced anything like this before, so I don't know what to even do. But it's not fair to you guys to have you sit here for all this bullshit. So, I will try to get it figured out. I don't know even where to go or what to do, but we'll figure something out. But that'll be next time, where it's always Sunday.